Hey guys, you're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. This story is totally insane. Imagine this happening to you. All right, let's get into it. I was delivering donated clothing to fire victims, but suddenly a rude, ungrateful woman demanded my coat. I am a member of a local donation collection group, so from time to time I am asked to help with clothing. I help wash, fold, sort, and deliver clothes to various free stores. Sometimes, if we hear about a community in need of basic necessities, such as winter or children's clothing, we deliver items directly to their homes. A few days ago, there was a fire in our neighborhood, and 3 families were left homeless. We gathered items of the right sizes and set off. We don't ask for anything in return for our work. We just want to make things a little easier for families. We always apologize and explain that the items may not be the style they're used to, as they are donated clothing, but at least they are clean and warm. If there are any special requests, they can let anyone in the group know, and we will try to help. Many of the items we collected were donated by people whose children had simply outgrown them. Everything is anonymous, and it's a way for those who live more comfortably to help those in need. That's what I love about my city. People don't hesitate when help is needed. I was given an address and drove there. I pulled up, took the bags to the door, and knocked. After that, I didn't even know what to think. It all started normally. There was a mother and 3 children. I explained that there were 3 bags of clothes in the right sizes and a box of age-appropriate toys, just like for other families. I thought I had misheard when she said she wanted my coat, so I just asked, "What?" She called me rude and said again that these things were fine, but she wanted the coat I was wearing. I replied, "No, sorry, but I just bought this coat." In response, she got angry and accused me of just going through the donation bags, taking the best things for myself. I had never encountered anything like this before. No one in our group is wealthy. In fact, that's why we do what we do, because life in our region is difficult, and we believe in sharing what we have. We collect quality items from those who have extra and distribute them free of charge to those in need or who have specific requests. Sometimes we take things directly from our own closets if they are needed elsewhere. Last year, we raised money to buy a wheelchair-accessible car for a family. The year before that, we helped a young family whose mother had been diagnosed with terminal cancer. This year, our goal is to build 4 tiny houses for homeless people in our community so they can use them as needed. We want to provide stability for these individuals so they can successfully return to normal life during and after addiction rehabilitation. In general, each of us does everything we can to help. The world is too cruel a place to be alone. Now about the coat. It's expensive, $250. But I saved up gift cards for 2 years and eagerly awaited the seasonal sales before finally deciding to buy it at a 75% discount. Maybe I was wrong to wear it on this delivery? I don't know. But after I said, "No, that's my coat," for the second time, the woman started yelling at me. I just left the bags at the door and drove away. This morning I woke up to a bunch of messages in the group asking why I refused to give a mother her winter coat and why I allegedly left all the stuff at the end of the driveway in a ditch. These aren't even questions, as most of the messages are accusatory, some just downright nasty. Today is one of those days when I want to give up this whole endeavor and make the world a better place. I was once in the same position as these families, and people helped me in exactly the same way. I know what it's like to rely on the help of others, so I try to be compassionate and understanding, but without condescension or pity. I rarely talk about what I do because no one needs to know where it came from or who got it. I do good because that's what was done for me, and because it's the right thing to do. That's all. But after today, I don't even want to respond to anyone. It's not just about that woman. It's about these messages which are getting nastier and nastier. It's about how people are clearly talking about me behind my back. It's about how quickly they decided it was true. I'm not sure I want to continue helping people after all this. I've been in the group for 5 years and never had any complaints before, and now I feel betrayed by people I considered friends. It all seems disgusting, and that's not how it should be. I would understand if it were some fancy fur coat or something like that, but I have a very ordinary long coat that is just very warm. I don't understand. Officially, we have only been around for about 4 months, but we've been doing charity work for 5 years. It was my project and that of the current president of the council, which gradually gained a significant number of volunteers and funding. We really need clear rules, at least to protect the clients who use our services. But we are still learning to navigate official procedures and bureaucracy. The only person I thought I could rely on now insists that everything happened exactly as that woman describes. I am simply at a loss. The council was necessary because we are partially funded by the federal government. At least our food pantry is. Unfortunately, this is a legal requirement. Of the 5 members of the group, only one wrote to me to ask if I was okay and what had happened. The others seemed convinced that I really did act like a jerk. I don't know what to do next, because in such a small community, the truth always comes out in the end. Now, the question is, do I even want to deal with these people? I don't think I can trust them after this. Commenter, maybe you should take a break and get some distance from the group? They treated you terribly. The problem is that I won't be able to avoid them anyway. At some point, I'll have to respond either with a message or in person. The longer I wait, the worse it will be. I know that. But I really don't want to deal with it at all. We're a small community. The truth will come out anyway. But now it's clear that I can no longer trust these people. No matter what they say later, the damage has already been done. Well, before we continue, I suggest you write your opinion on the situation right now. I don't know. Personally, I think that this happens quite often in such organizations. Maybe I just have a bad opinion of the world and life in general, but that's how it is. On message boards, mothers whose children have grown up often write that they will give away things for other children for free. Well, because these things are quite difficult to sell, and they just don't want to deal with the hassle. And it seems that if they write that they will give them away for free, it will solve all their problems. After all, people will be grateful. And they often write that they will give away a bag of children's clothes, for example. Or it could even be adult clothes. Just come and take it for free. And I've heard more than once that people who take these things come with complaints that this isn't the right thing, that it's dirty, and so on. It seems like they're just giving you things for free, taking this bag, and that's it. But no, they come and say, I don't need this. It's dirty. What are you giving me? And some even say, I have children here, so I can't take it. Please bring it to my house. Well, it's a strange situation, of course. So I'm not surprised by this woman's behavior. But I am a little surprised by the behavior of this charity group. On the other hand, in any group there are some kind of behind-the-scenes intrigues, some conflicts, and absolutely any group is not immune to this. Even the most seemingly pure and bright charity groups, religious groups, none of the human groups are immune to this. Well, now let's continue and find out what happened next. Update number 1. As advised, I wrote in the group chat, dryly, in bullet points, only the facts. The items were delivered to the front door, as usual. The client demanded that I give her my personal clothes. The client accused me of stealing from the donation bags. The client insulted me. I left half a bag of women's clothing, 1.5 bags of children's clothing, 1 bag of bedding and towels, and 1 box of children's toys and books on the client's doorstep. I am trying very hard to understand the essence of some of the messages I have received about this, and I sincerely do not understand why someone decided that I deliberately humiliated the client. You all know my story and the reasons why I do all this. Since I no longer feel trusted within our group, I am officially resigning from my positions on the committee and in the group. So far, the responses have been very mixed. They range from apologetic to accusatory, and even narcissistic. The most interesting message, I think, was not addressing me at all, and hinted that it was even better this way. I don't believe I was that naive. An emergency meeting has been scheduled for next week. As it turns out, you can't just walk away from a position on the board in the middle of your term without a valid reason, although I believe I have one. The upside is that my accuser is now also required to give official testimony for the record, since I have resigned. I can be present and comment. This adds weight to my reason for leaving. Would it be petty of me to wear my coat again, or would it be better to choose something old? I'm asking seriously. I don't want to make the situation worse. I just want to leave and go about my business. Rumors have already spread, and it looks like it will work in my favor. Small towns are both wonderful and terrible in this regard. I have already been asked to withdraw my resignation so that it does not lead to an irreparable rift in our charity group. I still have 8 months left in my current term as secretary. This is a position that requires the trust of the board members in order to keep accurate records. But I no longer feel that trust. I don't want my reputation to be unfairly questioned again after I've worked so damn hard to build it. I resigned precisely to prevent drama and division. In the end, it's turned out to be the opposite. Whatever you do, I feel like I'll be the one who gets the blame anyway. Commentator, they won't let you go? What are they going to do? Lock you up at home? The official council has to take certain steps to remove someone from a key position. President, vice president, secretary, treasurer, committee chairs. Or so I'm told. Maybe it's just a tactic to buy time. I'm looking to the bylaws and rules, but the font is small and hard to read. I'm surprised and touched by the number of clients who have come to my defense, but that's exactly what I think is causing so much drama and mistrust, both within the organization and among those who use our services. But that's exactly what I want to avoid and leave quietly. It's a mess. There's no other word for it. Commentator. In the future, it should be mandatory to have 2 people on every delivery. No exceptions. There will be people who will continue to need your group's help. Please don't let that woman's behavior stop your good work. And if the second assistant also has a phone and a camera, you will have evidence. And ungrateful customers will quickly learn some manners, if they didn't have any before. Did anyone even go to that house to check if the things were really lying in the ditch? Oh my God, my dash cam. I need to check it. Thank you. Thank you so much. There's no sound, but that's enough. The recording shows me pulling up and that there's nothing on the porch. You can see the car rock slightly as I take out the bags, and you can see me putting the bag on the porch, as well as at least 2 coats or winter jumpsuits. When I backed out, almost the entire porch is visible. You can see that she is standing on the street, but the quality is not good enough to see her face or what she is doing. I still don't know what evidence my accusers presented. They say she has already been removed from the registry of those in need. I'm starting to get really angry. This woman screwed up, but she has 3 children in her care, and they deserve food and clothing. This has all gone too far. Update number 2. The ungrateful client turned out to be the former mistress of the council president. And yes, they are still friends. Oh, these small towns. I can't wait for next week. Commentator. I knew it. This whole thing seemed completely staged from the beginning. Typical small-town intrigue and power struggles when only one person is vying for that power. The president wants to kick you out because you're a co-founder, and she wants all the applause and praise from the community for herself. Get your reputation back. You are needed and important to the community. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been doing this charity work for 5 years. Fight, fight, fight. I'm trying to figure out how to leave without hurting the council, because they do good and necessary work. I can't destroy all of that, no matter how I feel. And that's the problem. I think I'll ask for an official investigation of the council before I leave. I have the right to do so, according to the charter. I can't believe that anyone would do something like this for reputation or vanity. I really hope so, anyway. But if the investigation shows that it was all staged, who would do something like that? I will have grounds to remove the council president from his position. This is not pettiness. I just don't want anyone else to go through the same thing. But you're right. Something stinks here, and it's getting worse every day. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I want to file a complaint with the council, attaching the dash cam footage where at least one bag is clearly visible on the porch. Unfortunately, I forgot to mention in my group message the coat, 3 jumpsuits, and boots that I also left behind, so now I'll have to explain myself somehow. I also found out that they brought 3 more bags of things, including winter clothes. I think this is an attempt to cover up the situation, but judging by what I hear from many people, they are moving in the wrong direction. If she tries to sell the excess, as many suspect, everything will come to light much faster. In any case, the irony is that now I myself am probably the least involved in this. Small town drama. I admit, when I think about it, it's strange that I was assigned this client when there were other addresses closer by. I thought it was because of scheduling conflicts, but now I realize that's not the case. Interestingly, rumors have started circulating that it was all staged. I try not to pay attention to rumors without evidence, but I'm starting to wonder. I hate this situation with all my heart. It all seems so damn stupid. I'm still completely confused. The meeting is scheduled for Wednesday evening, in 2 days. I haven't decided yet whether I'll go. I don't want this drama to ruin the good we've done. Maybe I'll just submit my resignation and leave it at that. Public opinion is already on my side. So why make it worse? Commentator. I completely agree. We've had this happen in our city too. There are small groups that help the community without being part of any organizations or charities, just on their own. There were some residents who gossiped, collected donations, and sold them for money. In the end, these residents went to various community groups and established organizations and complained about each of them, claiming that they were not helping and deliberately causing scandals. Then the groups started posting their versions of what was happening on Facebook, and these residents continued doing the same thing. They accused others of not helping, and so on. It didn't last long. The whole city quickly realized that these particular people were stirring up trouble and kicked them out of all the communities. Sometimes you really have to stand up and tell your side of the story. In the end, the truth will come out anyway. You're a genius. After your comment, I thought about other groups this woman might have been involved in before she ended up here. Well, now I have 4 witnesses ready to come with me on Wednesday, from 3 different groups that this woman also managed to deceive. The question is, do I want to go that far? Yes and no. I feel that this situation has already taken up too much valuable time and is distracting from the original goal of the group. I am also being asked to run for president of the council in the next term. Most of the members are in favor, so I have their support right now, but I still don't trust them enough to count on them to cover for me if something happens. And if I replace the president, it will be a complete disaster. Commentator, wear your coat to the meeting and bring the receipt for it. I don't think I need a receipt. Everyone knows when I bought my coat and how much I paid for it. I've been told that 2 members of the council, the president and the treasurer, think I'm blowing the situation out of proportion and that I should take the reprimand like an adult. Or if I go on Wednesday, I will simply say that I no longer feel the trust necessary for my position and respectfully resign to avoid further drama. I will submit a formal letter of resignation and leave. I have also learned that an emergency meeting has been called to consider 3 resignations. Not just mine. Commentator, author, defend yourself. Something is clearly not right here. Also, call Child Protective Services. Report her instability anonymously. No, I won't be petty and call Child Protective Services. These children don't deserve to be dragged into this too. Commentator, maybe you should create your own group with people you can trust? Actually, I've already thought about such a border group for more rural areas that are not within the boundaries of our community. Maybe it's just divine intervention disguised as coincidence? Update 3. Meeting. Sorry, this is going to be long. When I parked, a couple people came over to say hello, but most of the council members pretended I didn't exist. My accuser, on the other hand, was having fun at my expense, openly mocking me in front of others on the way inside. Oh, you came back for more, huh? Apparently, I wasn't enough for you. And she blew me a kiss. She came with the president. I think that's important, especially considering that she ran home afterwards. The meeting started at 6 p.m. I wasn't allowed to sit at the table until they got to my question. I sat alone for over 45 minutes. Finally, someone looked out at 6:53 p.m. to see if I had left and called me inside. My accuser was no longer there. I sat down, and the first thing they said to me was, well, maybe we were wrong. This was followed by an apology, which I dismissed as bullshit, and which was delivered with a dose of gaslighting. You understand that when a complaint is made, we are obliged to investigate it. At that moment, I just exploded. I didn't even talk to my own children like that when they were babies. It was the tone used by the most stupid people. I told them that there is a huge difference between investigating and immediately accusing. And what upsets me is that their incompetence in managing the board nearly ruined the entire organization and made us look terrible. To which they replied, by unanimous decision, we have decided not to accept your resignation. Welcome back. I don't remember the last time I was so confused. I was expecting a much tougher conversation. I had a dry speech ready, but I walk in and all I hear is, oh, we were wrong. Well, it happens. Ha ha ha. Well, it's a shame you won't accept my resignation because it's been submitted and I'm not going to withdraw it. I'm leaving, and it seems you all understand perfectly well why. For those who approach me, I will consider your offer to head the board, but for now, I don't feel the trust and transparency I need. And he left. My phone was ringing off the hook all night. I wanted to write an update right away, but it just kept ringing and ringing. I don't even know how it spread so quickly. I guess it was good old gossip. But I had over 30 calls and just as many messages on social media. So what happened while I was waiting outside? My accuser decided to get drunk before the meeting. She was literally acting like a wild animal. I was told that it was so bad that 4 of the 5 women present called the police and Child Protective Services. And when she was told that they had been called, she snapped and ran home. That's a whole other story. The children, I'm told, are now safe. That's all. This time, the versions of events coincide remarkably well. So I will recount the events as they were told to me. It turns out that the president's husband is a drug addict. He gets his stuff from the dealer, who is my accuser. I don't know the details, but I was told that blackmail was involved. Rumor has it that she threatened the president with revealing her husband's secret. Well, you know how it is. He was injured, prescribed medication, got hooked, then switched to cheap street drugs because they are cheaper and the doctor doesn't control the dose. There's also a rumor that he is sleeping with this very supplier, but that's not certain, although such rumors have been circulating for almost a year. Perhaps I should have listened more carefully to the rumors, because I didn't suspect anything. At first, the accuser looked normal, albeit a little nervous. She went to the bathroom, and shortly after that, as I was told, something wild began. At one point, she was lying on the floor, writhing and wheezing like an animal. I would have liked to see it, but to be honest, it's probably good that I didn't. When the accuser left, the remaining 2 votes swung in my favor. There was a discussion about what to do with me, and the president simply said that she would follow the council's decision after her proposal to continue reviewing the complaint was rejected. Judging by the look she gave me when I entered, yes, in my coat, she didn't like it either. The vote was unanimous. Leave me, but after all that, I didn't want to stay. Tomorrow they have an open meeting where they will tell people what happened, because transparency is, ironically, one of the promises we made to the community, so they would know who they were supporting. I won't be there, but there will be a lot of angry and confused people. I'm glad I'll miss it, but I feel like I'll find out about everything anyway. They say there will be calls for the president to resign. We'll see. I started all this feeling like I couldn't get any worse. And today I'm surrounded by positivity and feeling good. Is it karma? It seems like karma. I'm already taking steps to start my own business. We will collect fresh produce donated by local farmers and deliver it to homes, with a focus on people who have recently moved to rural areas. Eventually, I hope to offer clothing and household goods as well, but I need to find a source outside our community so as not to take anything away from the existing group. I already have a preliminary board, consisting of 3 of the 5 members of the original board. I told them that they should finish their term with the group because they're doing really important work, and it would be unfair to those in need if they just walked away. 2 people resigned anyway because they were simply shocked by the last meeting. Their decision depended on mine. So their farewell meetings are scheduled for next week, as they no longer have a secretary to take the minutes, and I have been asked to do so. I have also been asked to run for president if the current one agrees to step down. I haven't decided yet whether I will do so. I think it would look petty, and honestly, it's not my business anymore. Thank you for your support. I'm not sure I would have had the courage to attend the meeting if it weren't for your tremendous kindness and support. You have no idea how much it helped me when I needed it most. Thank you. Update number 4. As I was told, the open meeting turned out to be a complete F*************************** ing mess. The president was asked to resign. She refused. As a result, the entire board resigned, and now the group is headed only by the president, and that's it. Essentially, it's dead. In order to remain a registered charity or nonprofit foundation, you need at least 3 board members. None of the approximately 50 people raised their hands when asked if anyone wanted to join. My project, which I named French Farm, on the other hand, has more volunteers than we need. It's a group I started after you wonderful people helped me decide that staying in the old one was no longer worth it. I have mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, it's nice to feel that I was right. On the other hand, I don't like how it all happened, and there are too many reasons to list them all. Our first task as a new organization is to write a rock-solid charter that everyone will agree to, including specific steps for collecting, recording, and reviewing complaints or claims. Well, that's all for now. Please write in the comments if you've had any experience participating in charitable organizations. I think many people would be interested in reading your first-hand stories. Thank you for listening to this story to the end. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel.